Alan here, and I'm in Oslo, Norway. Beautiful. It's a beautiful sunny day, and I'm sitting with a guy I just met on this trip. But I actually, when I heard about you from our GTD coordinator and franchisee in Scandinavia, Morten Røvik, and Morten said, you know, there's this very quiet guy who sort of showed up in the GTD community, and very service-oriented, very much wanting to support the GTD thing that's going on, which is really cool in Oslo to begin with. And he said, but wait a minute, you ought to go see what this guy does. So I went and looked at Aché on YouTube, and I went, oh my God, how way cool is that? Anyway, folks, meet Ove, if I said it right, Ove Kenneth Nilsen.
Ove Kenneth Nilsen, yeah.
Ove Kenneth, and welcome, delighted to be able to chat with you.
Yeah, great to be here.
You know, people love stories, and must have a fascinating story. The resume of what you have produced and what you're involved in now is pretty daunting. I looked at it and went, there's no way I could remember all of that. And also, I'm such an old cranky guy that, you know, music videos is not exactly my genre, that I know all about it. But why don't you tell the folks watching this is the sort of GTD community, or people who, you know, have resonated to the GTD message and club, if you will. What would you tell the people that you do right now in a long elevator ride?
Well, yeah, my name is Ove Kenneth, and I am a film editor and a creative director at Hocus Focus, which is a post-production house here in Oslo.
I love that name, by the way, Hocus Focus.
Yeah, I love it too. Yeah. Kind of a really creative space. And I also recently co-founded a concept creation company called Super Cruiser, which I'm really excited about. I'm a family guy, martial artist, capoeira teacher, and soul singer. And I'm also one of the organizers of Oslo GTD Gathering, which is the largest GTD meetup group in the world, as far as I know. Another project that's really close to my heart is a drowning prevention project called Lifelong Shorts, where we give out neon-colored swimming trunks to kids in Africa. To make them more visible in the water.
Okay.
And I'm training for my first Ironman, so I keep busy between cutting commercials, feature films, and music videos.
How many music videos have you really produced?
Well, the thing is,
remember?
I'm not as young as I may seem. I've been in this game for over 20 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, my CV has grown.
Yeah.
So I've cut I don't know, maybe 100 to 150 something music videos, commercials. I don't even want to count.
It sounds like that's kind of your day-to-day. Not that that's a humdrum job, but you know, that's kind of day-to-day. You know what you're doing, and yet you're also a musical artist. Boy, as soon as I heard "Good as Gold" on YouTube, I went to iTunes and got your album. It was very cool stuff. Yeah, go take a look. "Good as Gold" is fabulous, and also movies, right? So you're involved in movies coming up, movie stuff.
I've just finished a film called The Heart of Lightness, which is a fantastic movie shot in the north of Norway under the midnight sun with fantastic British actors, and that turned out really good.
I mean, you're also quite a martial artist, an acrobat, and the whole Brazilian, you know, capoeira thing. Give me a brief rundown of what must be an obviously rich history.
I always felt really at home in creative settings. Whenever I can make something, that's when I feel happy and in my own element. Growing up, I was always writing stories, drawing cartoons, or programming games on my computer. My father had a video store back then, and I got to watch a lot of movies, and that's how I fell in love with film.
Yeah.
And the movies in turn inspired me and convinced me that, you know, whatever you set your mind to, you can do. And I had a really great childhood. Always knew that I was going to work with film. Always knew that I wanted to do martial arts.
Wow.
So I trained karate and kickboxing for a few years, and then I discovered capoeira, which is a Brazilian martial art that combines music, self-defense, and acrobatics, all the stuff that I love. It was just coming home for me. So that's been a part of my life for more than 15 years now.
And GTD, come on, you know, how'd you come across it? You know,
Yeah.
what does it mean to you? I mean, I know that you've been in. We've done a couple of events here, and you've been sort of sat in the back and been digesting all of that, and also sitting very quietly. But I know in conversation with you that it's been pretty significant for your life. I'd love to just hear that story.
Before GTD, my solution to everything was just work harder, and that's what I did until I actually met my physical limit.
And by the way, you've got real physical. When those of you watch it, when we talk about physical limits, if you see music video that the guy absolutely jumps, acrobats over a car, right? So when you reach your physical limit, okay, that's got to have been a pretty significant event.
Yes, because I thought as long as you work as hard as you can, what more can you expect? And that worked for a while until one day something happened that changed everything. I was really, really tired, and I knew that the week ahead was going to be really rough. And I remember saying to myself, if I survive this, I'll survive anything.
Oh.
I started working Sunday morning, and I worked until Tuesday afternoon in one go.
Ouch.
And
Really?
I was really falling apart. I had headaches that were really like migraine attacks that made part of my vision go away. I couldn't even hit the keyboard, and I just kept, eating painkillers and micro sleeping, waking up and just continuing. And then on the last day, after I was wrapping up the project, everyone else had left, and then suddenly a really obese man appeared in my editing room. He was really enthusiastic, and he told me how to use my film editing software to help him lose weight. It made sense at the time, so I just followed his instructions. But then suddenly he just vanished, and I realized I was hallucinating.
Okay.
And that I had just deleted one of the hard drives from the project I was working on. Now that was the fat man was a really big canary in the coal mine for me, so I decided to take some weeks off and find and research a better way to work and live my life, and that's how I discovered GTD.
Wow, way cool. Did you take to it right away? Did you sort of move into it slowly? How did that work?
To begin with, I just started using the parts that I felt I needed most, but I kind of matured into it. I discovered that, if you use the whole system, you get all the benefit.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. And I heard you express something the other night when we were talking about that it was almost like a smoker who quit smoking and can suddenly taste things. I love that image. I'm going to steal that from you. Because it's very, it's very much, that's certainly been my experience working with this material.
Yeah, it's really cool how GTD helps you get organized. But I'm really amazed by how well my brain works when I get to empty my mind.
Our friend Evan Taubenfeld, who's also been, in conversation with us, he said before GTD he started, 100 songs in the year, and after GTD he actually finished them. So
yeah,
bringing
really
stuff across the finish line. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. And you're married and have 2 girls.
Oh yes.
I mean, there's a project.
I have 2 beautiful daughters, 3 and 7 years. And I'm married to a fantastic African woman. She's got 5 sisters.
Really?
So I often joke that it's like having 6 wives at times.
Yeah.
And that I would need GTD just to manage that.
Yeah, I'm curious because doing all the stuff you do, movies, videos, your own music, parenting, obviously, the kind of stuff that may pop into your head and must pop into your head in the most random places at the most random moments.
Absolutely.
Right? How do you capture that? Do you hum into your smartphone a melody, or I mean, what might that sort of look like?
Before I had my smartphone, I must have worn out like 3 tape dictaphones. But now I use my iPhone, and I use my Todoist app to capture ideas.
Yeah.
And also for longer stuff that I write, I use Google Docs. For anything audio, I use the app Hokusai for song ideas or whatever. And also there's a really cool app that it's a bit hard to find on the App Store, but it's called One Touch Voice Note, and it kind of dictates whatever I'm saying. It works really well even in Norwegian, and it converts it to text and sends it directly to my Todoist.
Oh,
that's really cool.
So if we walked into your world, somebody followed you around and went home, how would we see that you've set up? What kind of system do you use? How do you keep stuff out of your head?
Well, I have a physical inbox, and apart from that, I try to keep it small, simple, and digital. I have a GTT setup on Todoist, which is my favorite app, and that's where I manage my mail, my ideas, and my next actions. All my documents I use Google Docs for.
Way cool. It's always interesting when I run across people who've really taken to GTD to find out what caution would you give, or what advice would you give people who may be new to this game?
I think it's hard to not get seduced by how productive and effective you become when you start using GTD. I ended up filling my day with lots of cool stuff to do, but I was doing so much that I didn't even have time to enjoy all the stuff that I was accomplishing. I was still working my butt off. I was just managing to do more.
I've heard that from other people. Lewis Kim's a great champion of our stuff, and an executive in the tech world, and he had the same sort of syndrome. It was like got GTD, and then it was like, oh my god, and he just then started producing and producing and producing. And at one point, he had the same kind of aha. It's like, wait a minute, this is not about just being able to produce a lot more. And most people have an image of GTD as an organization system, and that's for sort of left brain, sequential, detail-oriented people, and it's not for the artistic types. And as you know, that's a typical sort of a preconditioning I think a lot of people have about it. But you're obviously, you're on the bleeding edge of sort of artistic and creativity. If anybody would say, gee, you've got a lifestyle that sort of represents that.
Yeah.
So what would you say to people about that?
It's easy to see how a painter would want to keep his colors and pencils and tools organized in a way that supports his creative work. And that's how I see GTD. Just expanded to the rest of my life.
Ove Kenneth, this has been absolutely delightful, and I'm thrilled to have you in our network, and a spokesperson for GTD, and a Norwegian as well, and Scandinavia is obviously very ripe for GTD. So I very much look forward to keeping you in the network and utilizing your talents for what we're doing, and very much appreciate your sharing with the folks. And so folks, again, Aché, go watch him and go find it, and you'll see what he does with the creative room he's created with GTD and all the other good talents you bring to it.
Thank you very much. Pleasure. Thank you.